Father Martin Compagno, Order of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Mercy. Son of Andrea Compagno and Laura Loretti, Martin was born in Valle Corso, Latina, near Rome, Italy, on July 19, 1882, where he completed his first studies. At the young age of 16, he was received in the order in Orvieto on October 15, 1898. He received the habit of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Mercy and began the novitiate on December 21, 1898, and made simple profession on July 1, 1900. To continue his studies, he was transferred to the monastery in Nemi on October 15, 1900. He made his solemn profession in Orvieto on the 20th of September, 1906, and was ordained a priest in Rome on September 21, 1907, in the Basilica of St. John Lateran at the hands of Cardinal Pietro Respighi. After having completed his studies at the Gregorian University in Rome, Father Compagno was sent to Mexico by the late Most Reverend Father Peter Armengol Valenzuela, Master General of the Order and later Archbishop. Again, we can say this new priest on March 15, 1908, was destined, together with then deacon Brother Alfredo Scotti, to go to Mexico, to take the place of Father Antonio Giuliano, who had returned to Italy. They both left for Mexico on March 21, 1908, and went to work in the Church of Belén in Mexico City. He worked very zealously in various monasteries of the province of Mexico. Father Martin suffered a great deal along with the other confreres when the persecution in Mexico started in 1913. He was put in jail and finally expelled. When the Mexican Revolution broke out in 1912, which had the death of foreign priests as its particular aim, Father Compagno first took refuge in the United States, but he left Mexico definitively in February 1915, going first to reside in New York City, New York, where he stayed working in a parish until April 1916. In the meantime, he had received a letter in which, on April 7, 1915, his superiors from Rome authorized him to try to establish a house of the Mercedarian order in the United States, something that had never been done before. New York was not interested in a new Mercedarian house, and for the next few years, he would go on to work in many other places. Father Compagno went first to Minnesota, and then to Texas to work among the Mexicans who lived in that state. In 1920, he left Texas and traveled to Toronto, Canada, where he was appointed to the Italian Church of St. Agnes. In October 1921, having had a negative response from the Bishop of Toronto to the request to send other religious to establish a Mercedarian community, he turned to the bishops of Detroit, Michigan, and Cleveland, Ohio, with the same intention. Both of these bishops replied favorably, but both apostolates were not possible at that time. Father Compagno chose the Diocese of Cleveland and presented himself to Bishop Joseph Schrems. Beginning in 1921, they sent him to administer the Italian parish of St. Anthony's in the Briar Hill section of the city of Youngstown, waiting for the other religious to arrive, which in fact came in March 1922. On April 1, 1923, Father Compagno was appointed superior ad nutum of the nascent community formed not only by Father Compagno, but also by two newcomers, Father Sante Gattuso and Antonio Aosa. The work at Youngstown lasted until February 3, 1924, when, at the bishop's request, the religious went to Cleveland, where Father Compagno received the pastoral care and foundation of the parish of the Holy Redeemer on the east side in the Collinwood section of Cleveland, with the actual appointment of pastor received on August 20th, 1924. Whereas Father Sante Gattuso began to officiate at the Chapel of St. Rocco in the Clark Street section on the west side of Cleveland. The work of the religious took place specifically among the Italian immigrants. This holy priest set about his arduous task with true priestly zeal and enthusiasm for his new flock. For 15 years, Father Compagno continued his work as the beloved founding pastor of Holy Redeemer and as superior of the community until his untimely death. Following a diagnosis of cancer and unsuccessful surgery, Father Martin Compagno died at St. Vincent's Charity Hospital, fortified with the sacraments of Holy Mother Church, on the battlefield of his spiritual work on November 19, 1939. Funeral rites and a pontifical mass were celebrated in Holy Redeemer Church on November 22nd. Zealous of the glory of God and the salvation of souls, he always showed himself to be a good religious and a lover of the order and its expansion into new places. In fact, the Roman province of the Mercedarian order and the order at large owe a large part of the Mercedarian presence in the United States to the life sacrificed by Father Martin Compagno in difficult moments. He gave all of himself to God, to the souls entrusted to him, and he never spared himself in the apostolic work. His memory will be in benediction more and more as time goes by. The Mercedarian order and those to whom he administered owe much to him. We hail him with the simple words of an inscription found in a catacomb in Rome. Frater vivas cum sanctis, frater vivas in Domino, frater dulcis semper vives Deo. Brother, may you live with the saints. Brother, may you live in the Lord. Brother, you shall sweetly live to God. Father Martin Compagno, Order of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Mercy.